Hi, my name is Amber England. I am a second year at the University of Reading and I study architecture. So today I'm going to show you a sort of typical day for me as an architecture student. So this is where my day predominantly begins. This is the entrance to the architecture building. You'll have a few lectures inside the architecture building itself. It's also where the cafe is, so a lot of people go there for that. But you'll also have a lot of your lectures dotted around the London Road campus. So this is to just sort of show you what the campus is like. It can be quite daunting at first, it's quite big, but you spend so much time here that you sort of get used to it and it becomes a second home, if you like. So this is inside the architecture building. This is one of the studios. This is where you'll spend most of your time. It's a space for you to complete any of the work that you've been assigned, whether that be studio work or any work towards some of your lectures. And this is where the studio days will happen. So once a week we have what we call a studio day. So it starts at about 10:30 in the morning and finishes at about 5 o'clock in the evening. So you are assigned a brief. That could be anything, it varies. It could be to create a cardboard structure, or it could be to design an entire building or design an apartment. It could be anything. And you'll spend your day here working on that project alongside all the other students. So you'll be seated next to them, and you'll also work alongside the tutors as well. So it's a great opportunity to gain feedback on your work, but to also see what other people are up to and gain their feedback as well. So this is just to show you what the studio is like. It is a great opportunity to sort of see what practice life is like. It gives you a sort of idea of what it's going to be like in the future. So each student has their own desk. Mine is just in the corner over there. But this is your desk. You can leave whatever you want on it. It won't be moved. I tend to leave my drawing board there. It's quite heavy to carry home. And then I'll collect it at the end of the year. But this is just to show you what the studio looks like. So we all pin our work up to see what everyone's been up to. It usually looks a little bit messier than this during the term time. But yeah. So one of the studio projects I took part in was my first project at the start of year one. So in groups of about 2 or 3 of us, we had to build this cardboard structure. It could be pretty much anything we wanted, and we then had to take it apart and carry it all the way into town, which is about a 10-15 minute walk, a little bit longer, trying to carry all that cardboard, and then rebuild it in the town, so on our chosen site. So we chose Chain Street, which is just off the High Street in Reading, and it was a great experience. We got to see kids running in and out of our cardboard structure, playing in it. I mean, one kid called it a dragon. We saw people using it as somewhat of an Instagram opportunity. So that was, it was a really great project to take part in. It was nice to work in a group as well. That's such a fundamental part of architecture. So this is also inside the architecture building. This is the foyer, and this is where the cafe is. So I spend a lot of my days off from lectures inside the studio working with the other students. So this building is accessible daily, even on the weekends, and it's very flexible. You can sort of go in whenever you want. The university don't encourage all-nighters, but it is open till about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. It also means you have access to numerous facilities as well. So just down this set of stairs here are the printing facilities. So you've got A2 and A1 printers and scanners as well, which is so handy when it comes to scanning in your large drawings. There's also the workshop on campus as well. So you have access to the laser cutter, but also the hand tools as well. So you get a little bit of training in how to use them, and it means your projects will be bigger and better, basically. So alongside the design module, you'll also study 4 other modules. So you'll study industry and practice, history and theory, construction technology, and visualization and communication. So once you've completed your degree, it makes sure you've got this well-rounded view of architecture, basically. But it also sort of helps you understand what career you want in the future. It gives you lots of ideas of jobs you might not have even thought of before. I mean, when I started studying architecture, I was pretty set on what I wanted to do, what career path I wanted to go down. But once I started studying it, I found all these different crazy career ideas I'd never even heard of before. And it has sort of changed my mind, really. I've changed my mind on what I want to do, and it's a lot more exciting, a lot more interesting. So with those 4 subjects, it can be quite complicated, sort of juggling the workload, but I found as I progressed throughout the year, for me, notebooks, diaries, lists, I have about 100 of them on my phone. That helped me keep on top of all the tasks and all the assignments that are being set. But also, alongside the lectures, there are many extra activities that are put on by the School of Architecture. So outside the architecture building, I don't know if you saw, is an example of one of the structures that was built as a year group a few years ago. So just there, it's one of the structures that you get to partake in. So that's a very exciting opportunity. There's also the Architecture Society. So this year I am treasurer, and we run various events. The lecture series, which is currently going on, quizzes, they are architecture based and not. It's just an opportunity for us to all socialise together and sort of have a nice night out. This year we have been very fortunate to work alongside the RIBA, so working alongside them and us helping them and showing them what it's like to study architecture at the moment. So it's a great opportunity, and it's great to have some support from them. We tell them what we want and they make it happen, basically. We are also working alongside other societies from various other universities, just seeing what everyone's experience is like up and down the country studying architecture, how it differs. It's a really nice chance to meet other people as well who have a similar interest to you. So another key part is the end of year show. So this takes place every year. It's a great opportunity to showcase the work that's been produced throughout the school year. In all the different modules, it's sort of the social event of the year in architecture, really. So you can see all the various different bits of work, models, drawings, photographs, all pinned up on the work for the public to see. It's a great event, and it's nice to see the variety of work produced from first year all the way up until, the end of your degree. It's a great event. So that's sort of it. Finally, I guess I'd sort of say, when you start studying architecture, it is a great degree. It's so interesting. It's so broad as well. I mean, you don't have to come out of it at the end just being an architect working in an office. You can do so many different jobs. It creates so many different avenues for you. But it's a great idea to sort of collaborate with other students, whether that be from the university or from other universities, and sort of get into the habit of group work and collectively sharing what you've produced. And I guess you can never stop learning. You can never stop learning about architecture. There's always some great new building that's been produced, and yeah, it's a great subject. So thank you very much for listening.